Not me thinking I was live. Baby, I was on here just a chitting and a chatting. How are you doing, Star Fam? How? This is bothering me again. Because it's not helping. Oh, I got to get back to LA and get my background. How are we? Oh, no. What's up with my? Oh, gosh. Connection is unstable. Your mother is unstable. Oh, my gosh. StreamYard, don't get on my nerves. But how are we doing? Thank you all for being here. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Get in here. We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? This show is a mess. A good time, though, but a mess. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on. How are we doing? How are we doing? Hey, Kimberly. Kimberly said, am I the only one who thinks that pregnancy will... Breeze Rule said, when I first saw it, I wasn't convinced. Oh, she had the baby. 4 months now. All right. Missy B said, maybe they just wanted to be on TV for a bit. Hi, NTR. How are you? Breeze World said, Lisa played no games when it came to Brian. Everyone can't handle the intensity of the experiment. Yeah. Well, is it an experiment or is it just some messy stuff for content? Missy B said, I think maybe she found out she was pregnant after they had been cast, but before filming started and they just wanted to be on TV until it was inconvenient. Maybe. Sarah said, Lisa brought Brian on the show only to get jealous, act like a child with her temper tantrum, and mush that grown man's face. Even with the baby, I would have had to go. The disrespect is ridiculous. Yeah. I wonder how his family feels about that. Megan said, hey, y'all, toxic. The couples are Lisa and Brian and Roxanne and Antonio. To be honest with you, I feel like none of these couples should be together. Bree said, when it came to Lisa, if the tables were turned and Brian put his hands on her, it would have been a different conversation. She had no right. It wouldn't have aired. DeWay said, hi, Star Fam. I think all of them are toxic, especially Alex and Roxanne. Missy said, I think that Kat and Alex are toxic too. Hey, TT. Hey, Nora. Thank you for being here. Hey, Kayla. We in here. Guys, seriously, so 2 things happened. And I sincerely apologize. One, I'm fall decorating. So I'm getting like all of my stuff together, pulling everything out because, I'm getting, I'm putting myself up for the fall. September 1st is Friday and I'm geeked about that. And I also want to get everything put out because I'm going to be leaving Atlanta for a bit and then coming back later in the season. By the time I get back here, we're going to be full on into Thanksgiving and I don't have time to decorate. I need my house decorated. So I was focusing on that. Completely lost track of time. Please forgive me. And then I get on here and I forgot to hit start live. So I was doing the live for a minute before I realized nobody was responding to what I was saying. I'm so sorry. The fall has got me going crazy. I'm sorry. I'll do better. I'm actually setting timers now. I'm going to do better. TT said, I can't wait to hear your reviews on these couples. Thank you. Melissa said, hey, Star Family, Nikki, I can't wait to hear your views on Lisa. Ciao. I Am Also Production says, oh, so happy you're revisiting this show, Nikki. I only got to episode 6 or 7. This season was slow for me. Really? Oh, it picked up for me real quick. Kayla said the notifications were notifying. I know that's right. Hey, Jolie. Jolie said, Trey and Ryan are the only two that don't frustrate me. They're cute. Alex said, hi, Nikki and Star fam. Is it Friday yet? It feels like a Friday, don't it? I Am Also Productions also said, Nikki, did you ever review Queer Love? Sorry if I missed it. I just would love to know your views on these couples. I didn't. I watched it, but I didn't review it because by the time I finished watching it, it was a lot going on in my life. The strike was starting. It was just craziness. So I just didn't review it, and I felt like people would be past it. But if y'all want me to talk about it, I will. El Boogie said, lurking and working. I will say Queer Love was a lot more interesting. The queers are messy, big messy, big messy. Bree said Raya was absolutely robbed in the experiment when she partnered with James. James wanted her body, not her mind. He could care less about Raya. Eva said, hey, Nikki, hey, Star fam. It's my birthday, so this live is right on time. Y'all know what to do, Star fam. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Eva, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Eva. Hope it's a blessed one. I pray it's a blessed one, and it will be a blessed and amazing one. You deserve my love. Hey, Melissa, thank you for being here. Virgo season in full effect. NC said, so glad I caught this live. The joys of working from home. Is it just me, or does this season seem off? The recouples are so awkward and forced. I think it feels like that because I feel like the couples that came on the show just should not have been together in the first place. And I think when they partner with people, they realized that they were all wrong for each other. Sarah said, also, again, Netflix, why are there 20-somethings who've been on like 2-year-long relationships on a show called The Ultimatum? None of these people are settling down anytime. Tell that to somebody who's 22 and 23, right? Like, we say this older, right? We say this looking back like, yeah, you're not ready. But when you're that age, you think you are, especially if you were born and raised in a church, what seems like a lot of these couples are. You get married pretty early because the church wants you to stay chaste and not have sex. So you run to marriage very early in the church because you just want to have sex. Nobody's going to tell you in a church, you just need to have a whole season before you settle down. Like, nobody's going to say that. So they tell you to get married. You end up probably being with somebody you don't want to be with, but you just want to have sex and not feel guilty. Hey, Mario, how are you? Hey, Priscilla. Priscilla said, hey, Nikki, currently recovering from the newest COVID variant. Glad I caught this live. I am so sorry, Priscilla. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am actually going to post a video on my, I hate it. This is so tacky. I did not mean to plug this, but it happened. On my home channel, NikkiStar at home, I'm actually, because I'm like in the fall season, right? But I'm a soup hoe. So on my home channel, NikkiStar at home, next week, I'm posting a video. I think it's either going to be Sunday or Tuesday. I'm posting a video making a chicken harvest soup for the fall season. The only reason why I say that is because when I got sick with COVID, I made that soup and I had it like every day. Every day. It was the only thing I could eat, the only thing that I could take. And it just really not only filled me up, but helped me break down the mucus. The key to breaking down that mucus is a lot of cayenne pepper. Unfortunately, it just got to be spicy. I'm telling you, I would drink that soup. Mucus would be coming out of my nose and out of my mouth. Too much information, but that's what I needed because I was just so like, that's why COVID is so dangerous. It's because it just locks up your lungs. It locks up your lungs with just mucus. So, I'll definitely tag you in that video or, share it over here. But basically the basis of that is cayenne pepper, lots of garlic, lemon, thyme, basil and sage, and just a lot of broth. You could throw, like when I got hungry, I would throw some macaroni in there or some kind of noodles, but just keep it very broth-based and tomato-based if you do not have acid reflux. If you do, I would suggest using yellow tomatoes or heirloom tomatoes because they have less acidity. But that really, really, really helped me. That and a lot of mint tea. It sucks. I hate that this is happening to you. Please rest up and get well soon. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. A good mess, though, right, Melissa? A good mess. Melissa Rose said, LOL, that's exactly what I say. Then it says my network is unstable. I say, your mother, period. Period. Hey, Monica, thank you for being here. Hey, TT. TT said, a total mess, and I'm here for it all. LOL, better than me. Better than me, indeed. Sama said, hey, Nikki, you're looking radiant today, as per usual. Thank you. I'm well rested because I'm in Atlanta. I'm going to be looking all over the place when I get back to LA. Pray for me. Zaria said, hi, Nikki. I've just got into this show through TikTok and it's messy. I am so glad you're reviewing it. Thank you so much for being here. Can I tell you, I was not watching the show. My little sister was watching the show and I could hear it from her TV in her room. And I'm like, what are you watching? And she was like, the Ultimatum. I'm like, oh, it's a new season? I had no idea. Melissa said, it seems like Ryan is MAGA and I'm not surprised. Oh, she's a white Christian girl from South Carolina. Not shocked. XOXO. Mimi said, hi, everyone. This season is a mess since episode 1. Absolutely. Hey, Jazzy. Miss Gigi said, I'm over here on virtual training, but refuse to miss this live. My mom is too. Hey, everybody. Sarah said, also, not for nothing, Netflix needs to be doing pregnancy tests or something. I don't know if it's illegal, but you messing up the whole process of popping out with a baby. Now we mad at that girl for being pregnant. I Am Also Production said, yeah, this season was not as messy as the season before. I think that the season before was just so new and just crazy. Melissa said, Vanessa seemed really sad. Something was off. She was crying a lot. They were probably filming this when they got the news that, the show didn't want them back for that other show, or that she got bad reviews. Maybe that was it. Opulent said, hey, Star Fam, popping on my break. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for being here. Hey, Blair, you're right on time. You are right on time. You're so sweet. I'm Nikki Worldwide. Eva said it. Jennifer said, hey, Nikki and Star Fam, I was debating whether or not I was going to watch this season of The Ultimatum. I just don't want to be irritated. You will be irritated, but it's a good irritation. It's good. It keeps you. I binged it in one day. I was just like, let me just finish it because it was just too good. Kayla said, y'all be dragging my age group out of nowhere. We dragged it. What did we say? Are you early 20s? Are you Gen Z? I hope we're not dragging. We love you. Y'all know me. I love me some Gen Z. I'm just saying, it's not even your age group. It's just wisdom, right? I look back at stuff that I did when I was 30 and I'm like, right. And I thought I knew it. I was like, I'm 30. Who you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like every 5 years you just look back at life and you're like, yeah, could have made a different decision. But that's just life and wisdom. No drogation, just, learning. NTR said, Nikki, I've been trying to make your blended veg soup, but can't tell all the ingredients in the show and tell. I apologize. What I'm going to start doing is I just like the silence of the videos, but what I'm going to start doing is either putting directions in the comment section or in the videos, just keeping them silent or doing a talk through. But if you want to write this down, shallots, garlic, 1 whole red onion, 1 whole white onion, carrots, broccoli, heirloom tomatoes, thyme, sage, and basil. Yes, I roasted the carrots. I roasted the carrots and the onions and heirloom tomatoes and shallots in the oven on 300 degrees for about a half an hour. Oh, peppers as well. I just washed everything, sliced it once, and put everything on a sheet pan, roasted it for about a half an hour. Then I, in a pot with broccoli, because I forgot to roast the broccoli. So roast everything. Roast the broccoli, the shallots, the red onion, the yellow onion, the carrots, and the heirloom tomatoes, and the garlic. Roast it all in a sheet pan. I just did it backwards because I forgot some ingredients. But roast all of those on a sheet pan for a half an hour. Then put it into your blender with hot or warm, depending on what kind of blender you have. I have a Vitamix, so I could put hot, liquid in my Vitamix. But the liquid that I had, all it was basil and chicken bouillon. And I just, heated all of that up. And then I poured it in with the vegetables, blended it on medium for about 10 seconds. And there you have it. Absolutely delicious. I'm going to make it again. I'm probably going to do a talk through to help people, but I'm just going to add roasted pumpkin. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Sarah said, I'm 24, soon to be 25, period. And I feel like my generation knows better by now. Like as a whole, marriage seems insane to me right now, but I don't live in a small town. So yeah, like the thing about it is life is just very expensive. Life is just very expensive. Back in the day, people got married a lot younger because it was a lot easier to acquire property. You had a nice job where you could live a cool middle class life and do nice vacations and just live a comfortable life. Life is not comfortable right now. Ain't nobody trying to get booed up when you're miserable. You're welcome. Megan said, I don't know if Roxanne has had plastic surgery or Botox, but she looks okay. Sunscreen, people. Melissa said, see, that's the thing. My mom passed from COVID, but if she was home doing those things, yeah, that was just such a tragic time. And I'm so sorry, Melissa. I'm so sorry, Melissa. Like, people just didn't have the information or the knowledge. Rest, lots of hot and warm liquid, and rest. That's all you can do. Johnny said, hey, NikkiStar fam, please be careful and stay safe. Cold season is coming and try to get vaccinated if you feel safe. Amen. Thank you, Johnny. Nisha said, hey, Nikki, I just binge watched this yesterday after I saw you were reviewing it. Thank you so much for being here. Alana said, have I missed anything? No, we're just chatting. I just binged the show this morning so I could check out the live. We're just chatting. I want to get a couple more comments and then we're going to hop into it. And TR said, Roxanne needs to better explain her personal values. Money is not a value. Yeah, money is not a value, but it's important. And I understand her. The problem is she loves a man that cannot financially provide for her, and the men that can financially provide for her, she is not attracted to, but she's attracted to their financial provision. So she's stuck. She's stuck. Zaria said, no, I'm 23 and my age group needs the dragging sometimes because child, listen, it's life. It's life. Gen X, I always look to them. Gen X and boomers, I'm like, huh? Okay. What else? Why not? Why not? Because I realize at my big age, there are a lot of things I should have done differently. And if I would have just listened, and I'm like, you know what? I want the next phase of my life, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. How about that? Candace said, I got married in my early 20s. I would recommend it to no one. You know what's the funniest thing? Not funny, but I'm a church kid. And like by the age of 25, everybody was getting married. Everybody was getting married. By 27, everybody had kids. And I was a wreck. I was an emotional wreck from 27 to 30, just falling apart because I was not married and I didn't have any kids. And I just felt like God hated me. I felt just low, right? And it's something about that 30. It is something about that 30. Everybody that got married at like 24, 25 at the church I went to, when everybody turned 30, everybody got divorced. It was the craziest thing. It was so crazy. My pastor had to say something about it. Everybody turned 30 and got divorced. It was insane. Insane. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have spent those last 3 years of my 20s crying. Man, if I could have done them 20s differently. Ciao. Persephone, beautiful name. Said, we love Gen Z. I love them babies. But many of you aren't ready for successful marriages. Who is at this point? Who is? Who is? Hey, a piece of pie. Thank you for being here. To do them over again with the wisdom that I have now, baby, I would eat. I would eat. Oh, I can't wait. I do it every season. And I got my pumpkin pot out. I'm ready. Hey, Greta. Hey, Miss T. Oh, thank you for being here. Hey, sup, people. We're going to end with Melissa. Melissa said, I was raised a 7-day Adventist. Getting married young was normal. I got married at 22. Crazy. Yeah. You know, you got married at 22. You think it's crazy. I wasn't married at 22. I thought it was crazy. Life, man. Life. Anyway, let's get into. Oh, the new season comes out tonight, right? Does it come out midnight tonight? Let's go. Quickly, we're just going to go through the first couples first and my first impression of them and what I thought about each couple throughout the season. Then we'll get into the couple switch, and then we'll get into after everybody switch back. So let's start off with the first couple that I want to talk about. I don't have a lot to say about them because it's just really simple. Antonio and Roxanne, no shade, but it's giving verbal and mental abuse. It's giving verbal and mental abuse. And I think the reason why it's not called out as much as it should be is because the one that's being verbally and mentally abused is Antonio. And I think that Antonio is accepting the verbal and mental abuse because he cannot provide. And he feels like as a man, because he cannot provide, that he deserves to provide the life that she wants. He deserves to be treated like that. And it's unfortunate because you watch her, drag this man the entire 8 episodes, and people try to help him and speak to him. And he's like, no, that's not what happened. She didn't say that. She says it to his face, and he just will not receive the fact that she values him less than because he cannot give the provision to her that she wants. Now, Antonio is absolutely a provider, but Roxanne wants a dude that's wealthy, right? She doesn't want a middle-class guy. She wants an upper-class guy. She wants a rich dude. She does not want to be dealing with Antonio, and she has a family that supports that, right? But she also has a family that doesn't want their daughter to come off looking like a terrible person on TV. So you can see the family kind of talking out both sides of their mouth because they want her to be perceived a certain way, but also they do not want their child to be with someone who could not provide the life for her that her father was able to provide. And that's what happens a lot in these kind of relationships where, especially men get with women who come from, a well-to-do family, right? Masculinity is put in check right away, and they're constantly trying to prove themselves to this woman and to her family. But the thing about it is, if your wallet is not where she expects it to be, you will just never be enough. So it's best for Antonio to walk away or spend the rest of his life being mistreated in this relationship until he starts to make a certain coin, right? And then when he makes that certain coin, he will no longer tolerate her or want to be with her. And then he's going to walk away from this woman that he has a family with already. And thus here we have another broken home. Because it seems like from watching the trailer, it seems like these two are going to get engaged. And I'm just like, dude, I would not do it, because right now he won't admit that he resents her. But when he starts making money, he will resent her. He will absolutely resent her because she will start to treat him differently because he's finally financially where she wants him to be. And then the resentment that he's been harboring will come out, and then he'll start treating her differently. And then there will start being issues in the relationship. And then he'll start looking for adoration from a woman who is now attracted to him because he can provide the way that most women want to be provided for. They're just creating a lot of chaos, and they're both creating a toxic future for themselves. It's best that they both just walk away. But from the looks of the trailer, it don't seem like it. It does not seem like it. Let's get into these two nut jobs that made the season and then decided to leave. Lisa and Brian. I don't know why Lisa came on the show. I think that Lisa came on the show. I think Lisa came on the show because she thought that she was going to be, I'm trying to get myself. There we go. Because she thought she was going to be the baddest chick on the show, right? She thought that there was not going to be anybody better, that there was not going to be anybody to turn her man's head. And as soon as she got on the show, she saw Raya and she had a meltdown. Why did she have a meltdown? Because she knows that's his type. I will go as far as to say he cheated on her with someone like that. right? Because it's very obvious in this relationship that there has been infidelity on his part, right? Lisa is very insecure, very, very insecure. And I believe that she brought him on this show because she thought that she was just going to be the bee's knees and he was not going to see anything better or anything that he would be attracted to. And when she saw that, she had a meltdown. You can also see that she is the only one who really wants to be in this relationship. I think with Brian, I think there is some love and affection there, right? But I think it's just being with Lisa is just very comfortable financially, right? Because she leads with, I'm a boss, I make this money, I got all of this, and he doesn't. So it's a very comfortable life. She lives a very nice life, and he gets to experience that life by being in relationship with her. Not necessarily she's the partner that he wants to be with, but the life is too comfortable for him to walk away. So as soon as she gets on the show, she feels like I'm beautiful, I'm successful. There's not going to be another one comparable to me that he would be attracted to on the show. And then here comes the Hooters hoe. Her words, not mine, right? And she had a meltdown. She had a meltdown because she wanted him to be attracted to or go for Orion because she knows that for her, that's not competition. But when she saw that he was very interested in Raya, that's where the problems began. Because when the couples first meet each other, talk about the whole process, Brian immediately targets Raya, right? Talking about her in a confessional and everything. Then they start to mix and mingle because now this is the time for everybody to see who would be the better fit for them during this trial marriage. So Brian, of course, gravitates to Raya. Raya, of course, gravitates to Brian. And Lisa cannot get comfortable in this situation because she never brought Brian on this show hoping that the ultimatum would not be him proposing to her. That was the outcome. And when she saw him connecting with Raya, she saw a different outcome. And she said, absolutely not. I'm getting me and my man out of this place. She couldn't even entertain Trey, who was very interested in her, giving her what she wanted, but she was laser focused on Brian in this process because she did not think that there would be in her mind anybody better for her partner. And I just want to say this. I don't think for 1 second that Brian was going to leave Lisa. I think that Brian was going to have sex with Raya if she was down with it, right? Because that's who he is. I'm sorry. It's a blanket judgment and I get it. But from what I've seen here, the way he looked at and talked to Raya, he was not like that in his confessional with his now baby mama, right? And now fiance. Apparently Brian's cousin announced on Instagram and their Instagram story that they are, about to be husband and wife. But it was just very obvious, like the way he looked at her, the way he talked to her. And I'm not saying that he was in love with her, but I'm saying that he was very sexually attracted to her. Homeboy's voice and body changed when he was speaking to her. Like, oh, yeah. So what you doing here? He don't treat you right. Like everything about him changed, right? But then when he's sitting in his confessionals, or even when he's just standing with Lisa, you can tell there's a difference. He's slumped away from her. She's holding on to him, pulling on to him, making sure he says what he's supposed to say, being shocked when he doesn't say the right thing. He's looking at her scared. The dynamics in the relationship is completely different. So even though Trey, who's a really nice guy, is telling Lisa what she wants to hear, she can't hear it because she's laser focused on what is happening with Brian and Raya. So then she just goes over there and she's just like, so what's going on? Because I see you two sit right in the middle. He's looking scared. What's happening here? The process that you signed up for. He didn't sign up for this process. You wanted him to come on this process because you thought that there was no way that he was going to walk away from you. And you also didn't want him to get in a situation that would have been better than the situation that he has with you. So you were afraid of that, right? So instead of just trusting the process and going through it, she decided to mess up what she saw her man building with Raya. But I think if she just would have let the process play out, I think he would have went back to her. I think he came on the show like, this is going to be my last hurrah. This is going to be my last hurrah because after the show, I'm going to have to propose to this lady because I'm not moving out of her condo, right? So I feel like that was a situation with him. I could be wrong. That is just my observation, right? So she sits down and she's nasty and she's looking at him. Then she gets up because she's uncomfortable, right? So then he comes out trying to talk to her because she's having like a whole fit meltdown. Nut job, pure nut job. No, he's talking to her. Like, what is... Girl, now we see why he ain't want to propose. He's terrified. He's terrified. She's just rubbing her head like screaming. That's why she ain't got no edges. No shade. I saw that she didn't have no edges when the women pushed back, but I was just like, oh my goodness, we all have a little weave alopecia. But I think that that's her tearing out her edges from stress. Honey, if the relationship is making you tear out your edges, maybe this isn't the one for you. But so many women, especially women who are in positions of power, build a man, right? You think that there's not going to be a counterpart that favors you out there. So you build this man and then you become comfortable with the little bit that he's giving you. Because for a lot of women, a lot of people, bad love is better than no love at all, right? So you put all this time and money into this man. You don't want to let him go. Even though this is probably a terrible fit, you are not going to let him go. Not with all the money you spent, not with all the time I spent. Women say it all the time. I put too much time into him. I put too much money into him. Girl, why? Block him and flourish. Anyway, so because she didn't put all this time into this man, she's not letting this situation go. But she doesn't know how to control her emotions because she sees something. And I don't think it was Raya. I think she saw in Raya what she saw before. I think she's been here before with this man, and she was just like, not again, not again. So he comes out trying to talk to her because he's embarrassed. You know, she done made a whole scene. Production's trying to talk to her. Like, it's just not working. So she comes over to him, talks to him, and she's just like, oh, you want to be with her? And mushes this man in the face. And he sits there looking dumb because he's embarrassed, not shocked, because I feel like that is the nature of their relationship. I feel like this is, if she's so comfortable doing this to him on camera, baby, she's done worse. She's done worse. He's probably got a hot grits burn somewhere on his chest or neck, right? So this ain't the first time, but he's going to accept the situation again because it's comfortable for him. He can drive her nice car. He can live in her condo. He don't got to pay nothing. All he has to do is be on her arm and serve her up penis. That's it. Because she done built him. She done created this. It was her building it. You know what I mean? So she's not letting this go. So after she assaults this man, she walks away, no remorse, which again proves that she been beating up on him, right? He's trying to talk to her. She's just screaming, oh, no, you go off the hat. You go off to the Hooters hoe. You go. I can understand if you was getting with somebody like Roxanne, a boss, but you're going to get with that. You're going to get with that. Why was she saying that? She was saying that about Raya because she was so mad that he was attracted to a woman like that who appeared as if she could not provide for him the way that she was providing for him. So she was so pissed off that a woman who couldn't do for him what she was doing could catch his eye. That's what it was, because she thinks that she's better than Ryan because she's a boss, because she does all of this and she got all this money. She thinks she's better than her, right? So she doesn't think that a guy like Brian should be going for a girl like Ryan when he got her. That's the thing. Never think that you're better than any woman. And there are so many women who fall into that. So many women who fall into, oh, well, I'm light. Oh, well, I'm skinny. Oh, well, I got these degrees. Oh, well, I got all this money. Oh, well, I'm a good girl. Oh, well, I'm a virgin. Oh, well, I'm a Christian. He will love. He does not care. He does not care. Men tell y'all that stuff. I'm being better about how I speak about men. Men who say those things to women, right? A lot of times they are saying these things to you. Oh, I'm attracted to this and I'm attracted to that. Not because that's his sole attraction. A lot of times it's because he doesn't want you looking out for the women that he's going to cheat on you with. That's just being very honest. That's just being very honest, because I'm telling you right now, there's a light-skinned girl right now watching this video, who's thinking back to her boyfriend who was cheating on her for 2 years with this dark-skinned chick from Texas. And it baffled her because of all the things he said about dark-skinned women. She couldn't believe it. There's a size 6 chick right now watching me, thinking back to the time when her husband was cheating on her with that big girl that worked at Burlington Coat Factory. And she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe that he was putting something that was 250 pounds through the mattress because of all the things that he was saying to her about big women. A lot of times, especially if they just volunteer that out of nowhere, I'm telling you right now, giving you some game. If I know, he'd be like, oh, she'd be so pretty if she just lose some weight. Like, I can't believe, I don't like all that. I don't like all that. He's lying. He's lying. Look through his phone, look through his hidden folder. He's lying. Check his likes. It's a lot of big girl likes on his Instagram. So for her, she can't believe it, right? So Lisa is absolutely confused that her man is going for a woman like Raya because she has been told that she is better than a woman like that because of all of the accolades that she has. And it is absolutely mind-boggling to her that somebody like that, somebody who she thinks that she's better than, is actually competing with her. So she can't control her emotions. She's all over the freaking place. Then cut back to later, all of a sudden, like all the couples, they picked each other or whatever, and they're about to pick each other and they're at the table. And, Nikki and Vanessa are just like, well, Lisa and Brian are not there. They're not gonna become a part of the process anymore because Lisa is pregnant. Then we cut to Lisa and she's just like, I'm pregnant, to Brian. And Brian is like, this is the first thing he did when she said that he was pregnant. When she said that she was pregnant, Brian was like, he did that because he knew he was about to be locked in for life. He did that and he realized he was on camera. He was like, oh, really? Oh, wow. It started to talk to her stomach. Yeah. And I don't feel sorry for him. I do not feel sorry for him. You are having unprotected sex with a nut job. You get what you get. You get what you get. I will say, although it's very convenient that all of a sudden she's pregnant, it would make sense, right? When we first saw them, right before the picking, right before they were supposed to pick, she was crying and vomiting. Remember? He was like, what is wrong with you? And she was just like, I want to go. I don't want to be a part of this. She was crying and vomiting next to, she had a basket or some tissue that she was vomiting in. There were signs there. If she's not pregnant, good job. She fooled me. Also, the emotions, right? I won't put all of her emotional outbursts on her being pregnant. Here is why. Brian wasn't shocked. So that for me let me know that this is the basis of the relationship because he was not shocked by her behavior one bit. So I'm not going to put all that on her possibly being pregnant. I will say that this is the nature of the relationship. And unfortunately, a lot of women like Lisa are going to continue to build and buy men and never be satisfied. Never be satisfied because you, in your mind, have created this narrative that you are better because of the things that you have. Right? You are better because you have money. You are better because you're a boss, as you call yourself. You're better because you're slim. You're better because you come from a certain class. All these superficial things that don't really matter and don't matter, don't hold any weight because you can never pinpoint down why somebody is attracted to someone. Attraction is personal. Attraction varies. There might be somebody that everybody thinks is attractive, where a group of people might think somebody is attractive, right? That doesn't mean that person necessarily wants to be with them. You can never pinpoint down who somebody's going to be with and how that relationship is going to work. So I think, Lisa's probably going to have a very hard time in love just because of the way she approaches her current relationships and how she sees herself. You're not a girl's girl. The way you see yourself is you see yourself over women, right? very submissive to men. She sees herself dominant over a certain kind of woman. And I'm telling you right now, the certain kind of woman that you think you are better than, you need to watch out for. You need to watch out for, because that certain kind of woman will always take your man. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. Let's move on to Ryan and James. Ryan's a sweetheart. I want better for her. I really, really do. She's ready to get married. This is the only guy that she's been with. Their high school sweethearts. But it seems like James is Ryan's high school sweetheart. But Ryan ain't James anything. Like the way Ryan was talking about these two, they met when they were teenagers. They've been together ever since. You talk to James. James had already had a first love that wasn't Ryan. He has cheated on her multiple times. He has lived a life while they've been together 7 years. So Ryan has been in a relationship with James for 7 years, but James has been single for 7 years. So he's not ready to get married because he's not even dating Ryan at this point. Because when you hear them both talk about their relationship, I'm like, I think only Ryan was in this relationship and not James. Again, I feel like this is another couple that, high school and church put together. And I feel like they are both experiencing life outside of each other. And I think they're coming to the fork at the end of the road, where it's just like, we need to either make this work or not make it work. But I'm thinking that because so much time has been put in, I feel like these two are going to make it work. And that's the wrong thing to do. That is the wrong. Time does not matter. Time that you put into a relationship does not matter. It is your happiness that matters. But it's very obvious that Ryan is the one that's in the relationship and James is just not checked in, right? He only checks in when another guy checks in with his woman. But who wants to be with somebody like that? You only want me when somebody else wants me, right? But when you have me, you don't want me. It's a terrible life for her to live. And I think we all see the kind of housewife she's going to be if she continues to pursue this relationship. Just in a really nice home somewhere in South Dakota, miserable, doing sweet water reviews on TikTok and, documenting her 9th pregnancy. Sad. Ryan and Trey. Did I put? Oh, okay. Rhea or Wright? Am I saying it wrong? Wait, do I have them? Oh, here we go. We talked about them. Oh, wait a minute. Do I not have Ryan and Trey? Hold on. I felt like I had this couple. Wait, give me a second. Oh, I don't. Child, I'm loading it right now. Church in a small town. Church in a small town put these two together, and the city is going to break them up, which is why Trey don't want to move to the city. So Ryan and Trey, young couple. Trey is ready to get married. He brought Raya or Rhea on the show for the Ultimatum. But this is the thing with these two. Raya keeps on coming out with stuff like every episode. And I'm like, I think that Trey is a really nice guy from what I've seen. But I'm very concerned for any relationship that she would get into. Here's why. She seems to be somebody who, like Ryan, wants to be taken care of. A housewife, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. I told you, the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, I think I want that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I think she's at a crossroads in her life right now where she's starting to find her voice, but she's afraid of that voice because she does not want to be on her own. And I feel like she does not want to be on her own financially. So she takes like a backseat in relationships with men, but she's unhappy. She's miserable. Like Trey has yet, and I don't know, and this is the thing, they've been together for a minute. So I'm like, did she miscarry with Trey's child? Because Trey hasn't said a thing. Trey has not said anything about losing a child, but she has mentioned it. So I don't know if this was with Trey or not. I feel like there's so many holes in this relationship, and Trey is acting like their relationship is perfect, and Raya is acting like the relationship is just, it's irretrievably broken. Like there's nothing more that can be done. She lost a child with him and she went through a lot. And it seems like when she miscarried, she went through that alone, right? She's not being satisfied by him at all. 25 years old and the sex is garbage. You are too young to be here. Too young to be here. And she even says that she tries to communicate with him, but he doesn't listen. So I feel like the biggest issue in this relationship is that he just doesn't hear her. And we see it in the conversations. When she tries to talk to him about, where she wants to live, he'll listen to her, but he'll listen to speak. So he'll talk over, so he'll listen to her and he'll be like, okay, but this is what we need to do. And you can go do that, but this is what I'm going to do. Never considering her in their future, right? Because he has his future. She is absolutely a part of it, but she doesn't have a voice. And I think that's what she's struggling with, because she wants a voice, but she wants a voice with his provision. And I think that's the problem. You got to let that go. You got to get your own money. You got to pick up more shifts at Hooters, sis. You got to pick up more shifts at Hooters. Anyway, so I feel like that's her thing. I feel like she wants to have this independence, but she wants to have somebody fund her life. And that's just not going to happen. You're not going to be able to make decisions for your life with other people's money. You got to get your own coin. I absolutely feel like if she was making Lisa's coin, she wouldn't be in this relationship. She wouldn't be in any relationship. She would be living her best life, because she tries to mention it to Trey that she wants to live in a city and she wants to do all of these things and travel because she, wants to live her life. And Trey is just like, well, that's not going to happen. I'm the one that's the engineer and I'm going to be providing. Like it's very clear that she don't pay for nothing with him, right? And it's very clear that when she becomes his wife, she's not going to be working. Like she is going to be financially taken care of by him. And I feel like that's how he leads out in the relationship. And I feel like that's why she's there. And I also feel like she's there because he's a nice guy, but I do not think that she's physically attracted to him. And I think she loves how he provides for her. She loves how he cares for her, but she is just not physically attracted to him. And we will get into that messy sister later, but I think that is what the issue is. She's just not attracted to the guy, but she knows he's a good guy and he fulfills a portion of the life that she wants, but then she also wants to be independent and lead out. And I'm just like, that's just not going to work. You have to, you got to get the money on your own. But I don't think she was raised like that. And I think she's fearful of a life like that. I think she's fearful of being on her own and providing for herself, because I feel like she's been that very pretty girl, that very pretty small town church girl who was just raised to be a wife and a mom and just always taken care of. But in this reality now, as she gets older, she sees that that's just not the life that she wants, but she doesn't want to do it. But she's probably afraid to just go out there and do it on her own. But honey, I feel like you're going to have to lead. You are going to have to take the lead. I will say this. Raya and James would have been a problem. Not Raya and James. Raya and Brian would have been a problem. They would have been a problem because I don't know. I won't say that they both were fallen in love with each other, but they were both very physically attracted to each other. And I think if Brian would have stayed, this season would have been a lot messier than it already is. My God, today you could feel it. That's why Lisa was having a meltdown, because she could feel her man slipping away from her. But girl, he would have came back. Ryan can't take care of him the way you can take care of him. He would have came back. Let's end with Alex and Kat, and then we'll go into the switcheroos. Alex just Kat just wants to be married. And Alex just wants to have a stay-at-home wife that's going to give him kids and shut up. I hate to say this, but these two are good for each other. I think that Kat's family and friends want her to be something that she's not. They want her to be vocal. They want her to stand up for herself. But I think that Kat is happy where she's at, and Alex is happy with Kat. I think both of their family and friends, their communities, want them to have a different partner because they see their family member or friend as a different person. And I'm telling you right now, your friends are comfortable where they are. Your son, your daughter is comfortable where she is. She just wants him to hurry up and move it along and finally propose. This guy is a rich guy. He sold his company, made a lot of money, and he is just living his best life. Kat ain't leaving that. Kat is ready to be somebody's wife and mama today. So even if he doesn't give her the ultimatum, she's not going nowhere. She is not going anywhere. And I don't care how much her friends say, well, you need to speak up for yourself. It's not going to happen. She's not going to speak up for herself. Even Alex's mama was just like, Kat is very quiet. Alex is like, well, yeah, I like that. Like, the mom wants Alex to be with somebody like her. And that's just not going to happen. This is who your son is. This relationship works for him. Kat knows who Alex is, and that relationship works for her. I feel like these two are still going to be together after the ultimatum. I don't think that he's going to propose. I think that they're still going to be together. If he does propose, it's going to be a very long engagement. And the proposal was just done for the show. He don't want to marry that girl because he does not want to put the money that he made in jeopardy. That's all it is. If he didn't have the money that he had, he would be married to her. He would just give her what she wants. But he has a lot of money on the line. And he does not want to split the pot with her. Ciao. And she ready to have his kids. Girl, bye. So these are the couples. This is my first impression of the couples. So they all meet and greet or whatever, and they have, they date each other or, go out and check out each other for about a week, right? So everybody finds somebody that they kind of gravitate to. Trey was really gravitating to Ryan, but Lisa was like the one that had him locked in. But then Lisa and Brian left the process. So Raya, she was really gravitating to Brian, but he left. So there was nobody left for her to pick but James, because wasn't nobody going to pick crazy James. No shade. James comes off a bit scary. And maybe I just watched a bit too much of the ID channel, but he's scary. I ain't even going to hold you. It's something very dark about him. And I think it's the trauma and what he went through, but it's the fact that he's harboring that in his chest and has not gotten the help that he needs. That is very, very scary, because I feel like every and any woman in his life that's not his mama is going to get the brunt of his rage. Ryan, get out of here. So anyway, everybody picks a new partner. So the new couples are Raya and James, Ryan and Trey, Kat and Tony, Roxanne and Alex. Let's start with Roxanne and Alex. Roxanne is pissed off because she met her match, right? Roxanne is used to walking over men. But what she needs to realize is that she's used to walking over men of a certain class, of a certain coin. See, Alex got money, and he's not going to let her talk to him like he broke, right? I feel like, Roxanne, no shade, you're very classist to me. I feel like you treat people how you perceive their class, right? And she approaches Alex in a certain way because he does not appear to have as much money as he has. I'm telling you right now, that boy is loaded, right? So she thought that she was going to talk to him any kind of way. And he was like, wait a minute, I'm the richer person here. You're not going to talk to me like that. And he doesn't take her, lashing out seriously, right? So he matches her energy, if not tops her energy, and she can't take. Because at the beginning, she was loving him until she tried to press him like she presses Antonio. And he was like, that's what you're not going to do. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do when I want to do it, and you will do. Period. And she couldn't take. She could not take. Because in the beginning, these two were very, very great until Alex sat down with Antonio, who was starting to feel a bit intimidated. And Antonio's her ex in the process. And, Antonio was just like, I feel like you're not telling me the truth about what you two are what's happening with you and Roxanne. And I felt like Antonio believed that Alex and Roxanne were falling for each other, but what he didn't realize is that they could not stand each other. So Alex was just like, whatever you think is happening ain't happening. I don't like that broad, and she don't like me. And the truth be told, she don't like you either, because everything that she's saying about you is just trash. Like, she trashes you all the time. And Antonio loses it and takes a run in the neighborhood because he just cannot believe that Roxanne does not like him. So Roxanne gets mad at Alex for saying that to Antonio. And, she feels like she's going to come in the room and cuss him out. And he was like, yeah, you're not going to talk to me like that. I said what I said and I meant it. So you can try to twist it and make it seem whatever you want it to seem, but that's what I said. And just seeing her short circuit, I was like, oh, you met your match in nastiness and you cannot take. Even when the process was over and Roxanne was trying to mend fences with Alex, and she apologized to him and everything. And he was like, okay, thank you for that. And she was like, do you have anything that you want to say? He was like, no, I don't have nothing I want to say. You want to apologize for anything? No. I went through this process the way I went through this process. I don't have anything to apologize for. I don't feel bad about anything. And she was just like, well, okay, hope to be friends. He was just like, hope not. She met her match, and this is what she needed. She needed to meet a man that she could not walk over. And the sad thing about it is her parents liked Alex for her more, because her parents feels like their daughter needs somebody that will challenge her. Their daughter needs a man that will lead her and not be walked over by her. I think that's the reason why her parents also don't like Antonio. They don't like Antonio because, one, he just cannot provide for her, and that pisses Roxanne off. And also the dad is just like, you have to be able to do for my daughter what I was able to do for my daughter and better, right? And he can't do that. But also Antonio takes a back seat to Roxanne. And I think the parents wanted her to have somebody that was a bit more forward, which is really funny how these couples worked out, because because Antonio and Kat got together, and they are the ones that are the quiet ones in the relationship. And the people that they are partnered with in real life, their families want them to have somebody else. They want them to have a more forward-leaning partner. And these two somehow just picked each other. They were not put together by the show. They just gravitated to each other for this process, which is really crazy, seeing how both of their partners' families feel about them, and it's extremely similar. So I think what Roxanne learned through this process is that when a man got coin, you're going to show him some respect. That's what she figured out. That's what she figured out, because Alex was not about it at all. Now, that is not to say that I thought that Alex came off likable. Alex is extremely unlikable, right? But Alex has money. And he knows how people are going to treat him because he has money. So he knows that he doesn't have to do anything different because he has money. So somebody's always going to want to be with him, and somebody's always going to want to be his friend because he has money. And that is just the American way, the global way, if we keep it in buck. So he knows he doesn't have to change, because Kat's not going to go anywhere. You think she's going to leave that wealthy man? Even if, if she divorces him, she ain't going to get nothing. But while she's with him, she's going to get a little something. He knows that. So why does he have to change? He doesn't have to. And he won't. So he learned nothing. His situation is going to stay the same. He learned nothing through this process, but Roxanne did. She learned real quick that there's only a certain kind of man that you could talk to like that, not the ones with the coins that you desire. So I think she's going to stay with Antonio. And the reason why I think that, because she realized in this relationship with somebody who not only matched her, but topped her financially, was not going to take that crap from her. So she couldn't lead out in a relationship. She couldn't talk to him any kind of way, and she couldn't treat him any kind of way, and she couldn't tell him what to do because he was richer. So she learned something that she needed to stay where she at if she wants to continue to lead out how she's leading out. Alex ain't learned nothing though. Tony and Kat, crazy and quiet. Crazy and quiet. Antonio, this entire season is just in denial. In denial. Everybody and their mama told this boy that Roxanne don't like him. She don't respect him. Even Alex's parents, when they met Roxanne was dumping on them about Antonio. She dumped on them so bad that Alex's mom contacted Kat and was like, Roxanne don't like Antonio. Because Antonio, after he sits down with Alex tells him, like I said before, that Roxanne don't appreciate him and doesn't respect him. Antonio gets mad. He's totally upset. He calls Roxanne, runs over to her like crazy, a whole crazy horse, right? He runs over to her, but he runs over to her after Kat says, because he reveals to Kat what Alex said. And Kat is like, well, yeah, I believe it because Alex's mom told me the same thing. When Kat said that she was but this is the thing, Kat was not trying to be mean. She was actually trying to help. And she was so innocent when she said it. She was like, yeah, Alex's mom told me the same thing. Like she said that she really doesn't like you. Like trying to help him out and trying to get this man free of this abusive relationship that he's in. Antonio's face when she said it, he was like, no. Crazy. Not eating a fruitcake. I cannot believe this grown man was acting like that. He was like, no, it's your boyfriend. No, he's saying that. Alex is saying, no. Like he could not comprehend how Roxanne feels about him. And the thing about it is, I think he knows that. I think he's just in denial. I think he knows that, right? Because what he'll do is he'll internalize it and he'll be like, well, no, she just thinks that because I'm not making enough money. He feels like he has to make more money to earn her respect. What a terrible place to be in a relationship. What a terrible place to be in a relationship. My God, today. So anyway, he bolts out the house and he takes off running to go see Roxanne. And Roxanne, master manipulator, as soon as she sees him, are you okay? What did he say? Everything that you said to him. Everything that you said to him. Everything that you said to his parents, he said to Antonio. So she's like, oh, I would never said that. I love you. Okay, girl. It's on camera. It's on camera. And Antonio is like screaming while he's at Roxanne's place where Alex is sleeping, trying to make sure that Alex is here because he wants to confront Alex instead of confronting the reality that the woman that he loves does not want him. And the only reason why she doesn't want him is because of his coin. Like it's plain as day. Plain as day. If you made more money than her, she would suddenly love you. And everybody has told you this, but he don't want to deal with the reality. So Kat has learned nothing in the process. The only thing that Kat has learned is that she's better off with Alex, right? Because she got with a meek and quiet man like herself, and it was a whole nightmare. She didn't get anything from the process because Antonio rejected her the entire time because he was so laser focused on Roxanne. So she is another person who got cheated out of the process because the person that she gravitated to and linked up with in this process is delusional and unwell and not ready to be a part of this process. He needs a lot of therapy. And unfortunately, a lot of people cannot see it because it's a man. If this was a woman going through this, it'd be clear as day. It'd be so many think pieces about, how the Ultimatum season 2 is literally profiting off of an abusive relationship. So many think pieces will be said about this, about Antonio and Roxanne. But because it's a man, it's like, oh, well, he should just get over it. No, he needs help. He needs therapy because the way that he took the words that people told him that Roxanne was saying about him and flipped it and made it his fault. He is like his mind is messed up. It's verbal abuse, verbal and mental abuse. He's not okay. He is not okay. Let's move on to Ryan and Trey. Ancestors, stand down. Ancestors, stand down. Harriet Tubman, chill. Sojourner Truth, look away. Marcus Garvey, close your eyes, brother. These two are soulmates. They are perfect for each other. My God, today. This is why I do not recommend playing with your relationship. Trey came on this show to give Raya the ultimatum and found his soulmate. My God, today. I had to literally catch myself because I was watching this couple's scenes and I was like, oh, eating it up. They had everything in common. Everything in common. And we watch both of these people light up when they're in the presence of each other. The only thing that was holding them back from getting physical, the cameras, and having to get on camera and act like y'all wasn't bumping genitalia. That is the only thing that's holding them back. And also racism. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, because we all know why Ryan's parents ain't come to meet Trey. I'm not surprised that this white Southern evangelical girl is a Trumper. I'm not surprised that them parents did not come to see this black man who's laying with their child in bed. I don't think they did anything, but she probably seen it. Rubbed up on it accidentally. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not surprised them parents ain't come. I'm not surprised. When Ryan's brother and sister-in-law showed up, I said, yep. That daddy wasn't coming to that. Not that South Kakalaki white man. He wasn't coming to that situation. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, unfortunately, racism is a huge factor in this relationship. And I don't see it going anywhere. There's no way. If they actually do end up together, this show needs to get an Emmy, because that is going to be monumental if these two end up together. And if they end up together, then I need to see this relationship play out. Y'all better get on YouTube and share every freaking day of your life, because I want to see this. I want to see her break away from the racism in her family. I want to see them sit down and have a conversation where she's just like, Trey, I have to tell you something. Well, my family used to own your family, but I love you. You know what I mean? Like, I need to see that conversation. I need to see it all play out, because if she makes it through, if she gets free of the racism demon that is plaguing that family and bloodline, she's going to eat on TikTok. Can you see her right now trying to do her daughter's hair? I'm asking every African-American, and she's going to say African-American because for some reason, white people, no matter where they're at, if they see a black person, they just think they're African-American. So she's learning. Where are all the African-American black women? Please help me. I'm trying to do Trayvana's hair and I don't know what products to use. So I'm asking. Somebody told me to use Miss Jessie's, and then I got Mixed Chicks shampoo and conditioner. Is that the right thing? Please, guys, just help. She gonna eat. She gonna eat on TikTok. And this relationship goes where it should go, but I don't know. It's South Kakalaki. I don't know. But we got to tell the truth and shame the devil. These two were made for each other. When God created Ryan, he created Trey. When God placed Trey in his mama's womb, he placed Ryan in her mama's womb at the same damn time because they are meant to be together. I'm looking at this couple and I'm like, oh my God, y'all perfect. I don't ever want to take a black man from a black woman, but baby, Ryan, you ain't it. It's Ryan. Ryan is his future. Just seeing them two together, I'm like, oh my God, this is scary. Scary. Like even when Trey was just like, I'm falling for you. And I'm afraid to say that because I know, but I'm falling for you. And she's like, Trey, Trey. Perfect. Perfect for each other. Damn you, racism. That's the only way this relationship is not going to work out. Racism. Y'all need to move to New York. Move to New York and flirt. Oh, you know what? Better yet, move to LA. LA will eat this relationship. LA supports this relationship. If you are wanting to date interracially, or you are in an interracial relationship and the environment that you are in, you're struggling to be out and just love who you love because of where you live, move to LA. LA don't support any other relationship or interracial relationships. I'm telling you, if you are not in an interracial relationship in LA, you are shunned. You are shunned. You are a pariah if you are not in an interracial relationship. That town loves a mixture. They flourish on that. My God, today, LA would be great for you guys. Y'all can make it work there. Y'all could make it work there. 10 out of 10, soulmates. They are soulmates. And you know who else believes that they're soulmates? Ryan's sister-in-law or future sister-in-law. She loved it. Oh my goodness, Ryan, you're so happy. When you're with James, you're not happy at all. But look how Trey lights you up. You're the one, Trey. Well, what's happening? When's the wedding? Like she just wanted this to happen. And because she was so eager for Ryan to break up with James and get with Trey, that let me know that James has put this woman through all kinds of hell. Even the brother was just like, yeah, you're lighting up with him. You are lighting up with this Negro. I'm joking. They are probably liberal loving Baptists. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to this tragic relationship. Raya and James. I want to be very honest about the both of them, right? I think they both picked each other to make their partners jealous. I think James just didn't even want to be there. I think he had his mind made up of what he's going to do and what's going to happen in that relationship. And he wasn't budging, right? I think he just picked Raya because of Trey, because Trey picked Ryan. I think that's it. Because why? What other reason would he do that? Because even when he sat down with Trey, he let him know this is an even trade. Just letting him know we're just switching partners, but we're going to switch right back. Like he was letting Trey know that I'm gonna get my woman back. Like I'm not going to, let her fall in love with you. It's not happening. I'm taking your woman just because you took my woman. So there was no kind of want or need to learn anything from Raya. He just took her because Trey took Ryan. Raya ended up taking James because Brian left. So neither one of them wanted to be with each other in the process, and it shows, right? Because they're just not connecting. I got to be honest with you, Raya. And I think we just have to tell the truth and shame the devil. James is not an angel. He is absolutely not a good partner. But we have to be honest with ourselves and with what we saw. You wanted to have sex with that man. You wanted to have sex with that man. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. And you got mad because he exercised restraint, right? Because early on, James was letting us know that he was very attracted to Raya, right? So James was basically saying, listen, because Raya was very upset that James wasn't affectionate with her. Very upset that he wasn't holding her hand. He wasn't giving her little kisses and things like that. She was just like, I need that affection in a relationship because I'm not getting that from Trey. So I want that affection, right? But girl, the way you was talking to this man, woman to woman, you wanted to ride that rodeo, right? Right? You wanted to, take a little trip down the Caucasus Mountains. That's what you wanted to do. And your feelings got hurt when you got rejected by James because your thing was, how you rejected me, right? You couldn't believe it. And he was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I respected his reasonings, right? Because it wasn't that he wasn't attracted to her. He was letting her know, I can't do that because I've cheated on Ryan before. So he was letting her know that if I start that, I'm going to have to finish because I knew that something was going to happen with these two when they was having that conversation about sex. Y'all remember that conversation? And he was just like, Trey he doesn't please you. He doesn't finish you off. He was like, oh, I start there. Remember that conversation? And he was like, I make sure that my partner is pleasured. I get excited, pleasure in my partner. And did you remember they was on the couch sitting there and he was telling her how much he loves to pleasure his partner and how he gets excited when his partner finishes? Did you see Raya's feet? Them toes started curling because the wheels started spinning. And she ain't never felt what she was feeling when James was talking to her about pleasing her partner in a very long time because she's with somebody that does not sexually fulfill her. So homegirl was like, you know what? I want to find out what this is like. Now you done talk big and you done told me you do all of these things. I want to know what it's like. And James was like, I want to show you, but I'm starting to realize that if I do this, I'm not going to be able to get her back again because he's done it to her several times, right? And the only reason why he did not sleep with Raya or was not affectionate with her the way that she wanted is because he saw how Ryan was responding to Trey. Now, if Ryan was having a terrible, if she was having a terrible time with her partner and he knew that there wasn't any attraction or any risk for him to lose her, he would have absolutely knocked her lace front off. Absolutely would have knocked that lace front off. But he knew that if he did that, Ryan was going to be gone for good because she now knows that she can get better because she's having such a fantabulous time with Trey. So Raya, listen, he's not a good partner, but since you were trying to smash, and who could blame you, right? But you were absolutely trying to smash. We just have to tell the truth and shame the devil. So after James rejected her, the relationship went downhill. They, stopped talking. They, stopped connecting in a way that would have been very helpful for these two. And it went downhill from there. So then we get Ryan and Raya hanging out, and Ryan is just like, well, how was it with James? And she's just like, oh, he's a terrible guy. I would not want to be with him after this process. And they're laughing it off or whatever. But then Raya says something because Ryan is just like, so he wasn't affectionate with you. So how did you handle that? She was just like, well, I just know that I'm just going to have to hold my hand by myself when I'm in the shower, and give myself kisses by myself. And I was just like, you wanted him to hold your hand where you were in the shower? Girl, I know that you were mad that he ran to Trey and told Trey that you were trying to have sex with him because, girl, you were. But James only told that to Trey because he was trying to make Trey jealous. But Trey didn't care because Trey is falling for Ryan. So Trey was like, oh, man. He did not care. Take Raya. He wanted to take Ryan. But I just feel like that's what the process was. And because she felt rejected by him, she shut down. Then James felt that and he shut down. And these two just spoiled the whole process for the both of them. He just spoiled the whole process for the both of them. Let's get to, I got that. Yeah, those are the new couples. I talked about all the new couples. Okay. The switchover. Let's get into that. We'll get into the switch over, then we'll get into the comments. So the switch over is basically when all the couples get back together, the original couples. So we have Raya and Trey again. They're back together. Raya is upset because she just did not enjoy this experience. And she's also upset because Trey had a blast. Trey loved who he was partnered with. He actually had feelings, said that he developed feelings for Ryan, and he actually told her that. Baby, when he told her that, them plastic Fashion Nova heels, that clear block heel got to shaking, right? Because I don't think that she knew that Trey was going to make a connection like that. Because I think, just like Lisa, she felt like she was the baddest that he's ever gotten, right? Or that, you know, he's not going to find anything better than me. You know, she knows what she looks like. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, right? So, and it also seems like, I don't think that Trey is attracted to white women or has been, right? So she probably just didn't think that, or she knew of, or, you know, right? So she probably just didn't think that there would be any kind of competition. And when she realized that he was really falling for her and then hanging out with Ryan, seeing how great she is and how similar she is to Trey, she felt intimidated by that. And then, you know, started crying and breaking down and feeling like she's losing him. And this is the thing. I think these are two really nice people. I do not think that they are for each other. I think these are two really nice people trying to make something work because of time, right? Trey feels like he's behind time because he's 29 and not married, and his parents married a lot earlier than him and are still married to this day, right? Raya still struggling with if she wants to be a mom again, if she wants to go through that process of carrying a child again, and also if she wants to be with Trey, because again, I'm not saying that Trey is unattractive. I think he's very attractive, but she's not. I feel like she's not attracted to him. But for her, she's getting older. Life is slipping away, and she wants to have experiences. She wants to live a certain life, but she wants to live a certain life on Trey's dime. So that's why she wants him to move to the city. She wants him to go on these trips. Not necessarily because she wants to live with him in the city or take these trips with him to all these places that she wants to go. She just wants him to fund it. And I think we just got to be honest about the situation. She wants him to fund her lifestyle, but not necessarily be with him, right? Because even when Trey says, he tells her, he's like, you can live in the city and I'll take care of our home here. I'll build our home here. She's not okay with that, not because she wants to live with Trey in the city. She's not okay with that because Trey is not going to pay for her apartment in the city. He said, you do what you need to do in the city. I'll take care of our home in the country. So he's telling her, you can absolutely live in the city for a year. You're paying for it. And that is her issue. That is her issue. It's just not going to, poor thing. Girl, you got to let that go. You just got to get another job. You have got to get another job and live the life that you want, because you're just going to be miserable. And you have somebody who is so blindsided by just marriage, right? To be quite honest with you, Ryan and Trey are perfect for each other. But you know, if him and Ryan don't work out, you know who's a better partner? Kat. Because these two are both ready for marriage. These two are both ready for marriage and to be in the traditional, you know, Christian or, you know, American marriage roles. Both really ready for it. That's why Trey cannot listen to her, because he has his future designed and she just has to fit in it. He's not going to try to work to make her feel comfortable in it. He needs her to work on herself so she can fit into the future that he has already designed. Beautiful couple, really nice people, terrible for each other. Terrible for each other. Let's get to James and Ryan. So James and Ryan get back together, and for a minute, James is very sweet. Very, very sweet. Then we get that overhead hidden camera, and we watch this man cuss this woman out for 3.5 hours because her nails was clicking on the countertop. And he said that triggered him to when his mother used to do that. So we start to find out that he experienced abuse. He later reveals that his mom was not there. She made terrible decisions, and basically that he just had a really rough childhood due to his mom. Ryan cries. She feels bad. And I think that's how she continues to stay in this relationship with him. I think he vomits his trauma on her often. And then I think he falls apart and cries. And I got to be honest, manipulates her to make her feel bad so she will take him back and overlook how he just mistreated her. Because to cuss that woman out for 3.5 hours until she is breaking down in tears and then kiss her on the forehead and tell her that you love her is diabolical. Is absolutely diabolical. And I think she's too young and too sheltered to realize that this ain't a healthy relationship at all. But I think because, the religion, the political views, where they live, the family dynamic, I think she feels stuck. I think she feels stuck. And it would benefit her to get out of that town and travel and see the world and then develop an idea of the kind of life that she wants to live. But just like Raya, you lose that financial stability, right? Because I don't think she comes from a family that's going to financially support her, financially, mentally, emotionally support her if she wants to move to like a New York City or travel, or live to LA or live in LA or backpack across the globe, right? And, just visit other, cultures and faiths. I don't think they'll be supportive of that. And I feel like that's what happens with a lot of women. You get financially, you're held hostage financially by your families and your partners, and you're just going to be stuck. And it's really sad because like I said before, we can all see the future for Ryan if she stays with James. Unfortunately. I will also say this. Let me go back to this couple. I think that Raya is also manipulating James, and also manipulating Trey. And although I feel like Trey just bulldozes, over her opinions and ideas because, like, again, he has his future set and she just has to fit into it. He doesn't listen to her, but I also think she manipulates him because she knows what she has and she doesn't want to lose him, right? But you're not attracted to him and you don't want to live the life that he wants to live, but she just doesn't want to lose him and she's being very selfish, because when he's being very open and honest and talking to her about his attraction to Ryan and how good the process was, she will break down in tears in a second and then will shut down and not talk to him until he's begging and pleading for her to open up to him. But I think that it's just a tactic and not how she really feels. Because I think she can't openly and honestly express that to him, because if she does, she loses him. And who gonna pay for that rent in the city? Child, she's not trying to do that. Kat and Alex are back together. So Kat and Alex are back together. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. Nothing. Because he doesn't have to change. He does not have to change. And Kat, I think in the last episode, realized that because she was talking to him about what she wanted him to be, how she wanted him to be kinder to her, be more affirming to her. She wanted him to respect her more and be more affectionate. This man turned to her, looked her in her eye and said, "No, I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am." He doesn't have to change. Because when he said that, she looked at him and ate it. And ate it. He doesn't have to change, and he won't. And he won't. I will say my girl Ryan does seem checked out. when she talks to James, but I think she's been checked out before. But I think this is probably the most that she's been checked out because we're starting to see her challenge him. And we didn't see that in the beginning. So we're starting to see her challenge him, but I think that's just because she learned those things from Trey. So I do think that for Trey and for Ryan, this was a really good process because I think that Ryan is like, not think, I see her applying things that she learned in her relationship with Trey because she's just like, no, but I can get treated like this. So this is how you're going to treat me, or I'm just not going to stay. She's giving him ultimatums, right? Ultimatums that make sense for their relationship. But I think she's applying those things because she's going to stay. Poor baby. Poor baby. And although I think that Trey is a good partner for her, I think he's just as selfish as James is, right? So I do feel like Trey learned in this process that he really likes somebody who is similar and just like him. But I think he already knew that. And I think he's trying to make Raya a Ryan. And that's just not going to be possible without the misery of Raya. I see her being in a marriage with him and being absolutely depressed. I see her being a mom and raising her kids absolutely depressed because she's not happy with the situation that she's in, but she's too afraid to leap. I think her and Ryan, the best thing for them two to do is to leap. I would say the same thing for Kat, but Kat's not going anywhere. She's not leaping. She leapt into what she wanted to be in. But I feel like these two young women, my hope is for them to leap and become independent and find who they are and not find their identity through a man. But, listen, it's hard out here. This world is very expensive, especially if you're a woman. It's very, very expensive. So I get it. It's just really, really sad. Antonio is still in denial. He got back with Roxanne and the relationship stayed the same. Nothing changed, right? Because Roxanne knows that she doesn't have to change because she's going to stay with Antonio. She likes a man that she can cuss out and treat poorly, and he sticks around, right? Because when her and Antonio get back together, what's the first thing that happens? They're having a conversation and Antonio says that I love you, and she looks at him and stares. Your partner says I love you. What do you say back? You say, I love you back, right? But if you have a dynamic like Antonio and Roxanne, you withhold that I love you. And Roxanne is just like, oh, I didn't want to say it back because I didn't feel like it in that moment. And then she acts shocked when Antonio starts crying. Why would you act shocked when you said that to your partner? Your partner says, I love you. You stare at them. You say, I didn't feel like saying it in that moment. And then they get upset and you start acting crazy, gaslighting him and be like, why are you acting like that? Like, what's wrong? Why would you? She doesn't have to change in this relationship with Antonio. She doesn't have to change because he will not allow room for her to grow or change or give her any ultimatums that would change her behavior. Ryan is doing a lot better than Antonio. And Antonio is going to stay stuck in this situation. He's grown. What can you do? What can you do? Let's talk about her messy sister. I'm not saying that the sister does not care about Raya. I want to put that out there right now. But I am so baffled that you sat there on camera with your sister and her boyfriend, who she's on a show with, that's giving her ultimatum, and you say to your sister in front of her boyfriend, so did you tell him everything? Does he know it all? Do y'all talk about it all? And Trey was like, well, yeah, we talk about everything. She's like, oh, so you know the show don't get wet with you? What? Why would you say that? Oh, hell no. Hell no, the show don't get wet with him? Well, we ain't had that conversation. No, we did not have that conversation. Why would you say that? Baffled me. I had to pause when I was watching the episode. I had to pause because I was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Okay, you know you don't get wet with him. You got to let him know he is not sexually fulfilling you. Are you crazy? I just couldn't believe her sister said that. She was so shocked. Raya was just like frozen. She could not believe that her sister said that. So, Trey, who's embarrassed, gets up and walks away and is like, I want to let y'all have that conversation. So, Raya tells her, oh, it's getting better. No, we're finding out things and it's getting better. I don't believe you. I don't believe that it's getting better. I think it's the same miserable, selfish sex that you have been dealing with. Raya's not happy. Raya's not happy, but she does not want to leave the financial security of Trey. So this is on her. This is on her. You are miserable because you want to stay in a situation that does not suit you for money. And I get it, but girl, you got to get up and free yourself. You have to get up and free yourself. We meet James's mama. And when we met her mama, I was like, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. When that lady said that she was a trucker, I was like, yep, you're a trucker, all right. She just seems to be someone who doesn't come from a lot of money. She gives me poor Appalachian, woman who single mom, trying to make it do what it do, rough around the edges, abrasive, and speaks her mind. Because she even said her son got to make a decision because Ryan is pretty and she can get something better. And she said that about her child. She said that about her child. So I can understand James's issues. It still does not excuse the fact that he does not get therapy and deal with those things instead of dumping them on a woman that really cares for him. But meeting his mom, a lot of things clicked. A lot of things clicked when we met that truck driver. You know what she reminded me of? She reminded me of the truck driver from Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. Well, was it Pee Wee's Great Adventure? Y'all remember that trucker? I was like, yeah, I get it, James. I get it. Oh my God, I forgot to talk about when Antonio met Roxanne's parents. After her parents had met with Alex and her dad, what did her dad say? Oh, he said the difference between, hold on, let me get their picture. He said the difference between Alex and Antonio is a job. That family cannot stand the fact that Antonio was broke. And I feel like it's such a shame. He's not broke. He's just not rich. I hate that for him. And that's all I wanted to say. Poor guy. What do you guys have to say? I talked long enough. What do you guys have to say? I talked a lot because it was 8 episodes I had to get through. But let's see what you guys have to say. We're trying to get all the way back up to Lisa. That's the first comment. Thank you, Miss Gigi. Miss Gigi 88 said, thumbs up as you come on. And wait, hold on. Please don't tell me I have another live at this time. Hold on. Ciao. You know what always trips me up is that StreamYard is a different time. Yep. Is it 4:30? StreamYard has a different time than like what I'm seeing is not the same time it actually is. So I have to make sure I'm watching both clocks because I'll get caught up. Anyway, thank you so much, Miss Gigi. Miss Gigi 88 said, thumbs up as you come on in the room. Melissa Rose said it's exactly. She was triggered from the moment she saw them talking about Lisa. Nisha said, I knew Lisa was going to say she was pregnant and she clearly knew already. You think she knew when she came into the process? She was treating Raya so bad and calling her the B word. She was jealous. She was jealous. Yeah, because that's who he normally cheats with. We just got to be honest here. That's the girl he normally goes for. He just got a good situation with Lisa. Sarah says she was taking out her hurt on Raya when she just needs to let their relationship go. That baby is not keeping him home for long. Nope. That's what it is. We see a lot of these couples being held together because of finances. And you will see this a lot more as the wealth gap in this nation increases. Melissa says, I hope that woman has gotten some anger management because I worry about her baby. I feel like that's who she is with the mixture of pregnancy emotions. NTR said, Brian answered Lisa's questions with questions. It's giving, don't really want to be with you, but don't want to let you go just yet. Yeah, she coined up. Cam said, I hated seeing an older Black woman getting jealous of a younger Black woman. Raya is very pretty, though. I kind of understood it. Zaraya said, Lisa was absolutely out of order, and I didn't like the way she talked to Raya either. Very jealous. Very jealous. She was shook because that's who he cheats with. That's the girl he normally goes for. That is his, type. That's who he's attracted to. They do actually. They do. But I think she was looking at the fact of how Raya dresses, because we have to be honest with you. Raya loves a burnt orange Fashion Nova set. I don't know what club Raya goes to on a daily basis, but that is club attire is her daily attire. She loves a bedazzled burnt orange backless dress, and she will wear it anywhere. She will wear it to Whole Foods. She'll wear it to brunch. She'll wear it to a funeral, and she'll wear it to a sexy date with somebody else's man. Let me stop. I love Raya. She would have for her had production not stopped her. She would have. Flolo said, hey, y'all, this show is crazy. Lisa should have been kicked off the show after she slapped him. This isn't love and hip hop. Ciao. Ryan said, but Brian was enjoying it too much. Like, at least try to act distraught. He couldn't wait to dive into that bed with Ryan. He was so excited. Even when they met again after he got beat up by Ryan, by his now fiance, he was still excited to be with her. Because he was going to go through this process with her. He didn't even want to leave when she said that she was pregnant. He was like, oh, so you want to leave? She was like, yes, I'm pregnant. He still wanted to stay and sow his royal oats with Raya, who to this day, like, I'm still so upset that, like, after watching like the first 8 episodes, that she's mad at Trey. Like, if she wasn't with Brian, she wouldn't have done the same thing. She probably would have got physical because she's sexually unsatisfied. She probably absolutely would have got physical with Brian. Anika said she called Raya out her name so many times. I hope she checks her. We will see. Persephone said the situation is scary. He's the piece of a man. She needs to cut her losses. Zaria said her mushing him too, like, ma'am, you brought him here. Like, what did she really think, especially when it came to when they would have to pick someone to be in a trial marriage with? She didn't think that Raya would be there. That's what she thought. She didn't think that a girl like Raya would be there. Melissa said, LOL, it's giving Barbara that called Shirley about a woman. I'm like, girl, what you spend all that money for, child? Because you know she tricks off on him. Sarah said, only so many times you can mush a man before he starts to feel away. She has got to be careful, especially with the child. Very true. Marie said, Lisa mushing him was dead wrong. Don't put your hands on people, because if he would have reacted physically back and he was calm and did nothing to warrant physical abuse. And I feel like I said before, she was so comfortable doing it. She's done it before. That's the nature of their relationship. Ryan said, I can't believe she said he got a 6-figure chick. So you're funding his lifestyle, sis. Absolutely. That's why she's mad, because she's funding his lifestyle and he's going after a woman who can't even buy him a burger at Applebee's. So that's why she was pissed off. Like, this is my competition. I make 6 figures and my competition is a girl from Hooters. Yeah. How you like them apples? Priscilla said, I know that they all need therapy, but Lisa needs serious therapy and must know her worth without a man. Stand up, sis. Yep, Deborah. She hits him on a regular. He had zero reaction outside and inside the restaurant. Yep. And Sarah also said, when something goes wrong in the relationship and learns that babies don't make good men, she's going to feel so embarrassed about all of this. Absolutely. And everybody was shocked. Like, he was banging that woman for a good 20 years. She just happened to get pregnant one time. He had been banging her for a grip A grip. I'm telling you, ladies, the moment he says that something is unattractive, that's who you need to look for. That's who you need to look for. Oh, I don't like girls with natural hair. Every natural hair chick you see. Look. Look. Oh, I hate that. That Afro stuff, I hate that. Okay. Sure, honey. Sure. You better look for it. Melissa said, and men date down when they are with successful women. Ciao. Ciao. Priscilla said, facts. The guy I dated told me he likes how I present myself. Yet his entire Instagram following was the complete opposite. Yup. Because he don't want you looking for that. He don't want you looking for that. Ryan said, not the skin color, but he was flirting with women he deemed as hoes and hated hoes, but that's all he wanted. It drove me insane because I'm seen as a good girl. Ciao. Ciao. Opulent Pomegranate said, each time a girl on TikTok has boosted themselves up this way has been clowned. Yep. The amount of plus size chocolate girls that have proven this idea wrong and strong. I feel like I know the TikTok you're talking about. Are you talking about that Mexican girl? That skinny Mexican girl who was so upset that her black boyfriend cheated on her with that plus size dark skinned black chick? This chick was having a meltdown. She kept on posting a girl's picture and she was like, I could not believe that you were with somebody like that. And then the sister started posting like screenshots and everything. And she was like, I don't want him. I want y'all to be happy. Please, can you tell him to stop calling me? And she was showing a text messages. She's like, oh, he calling me right now. Please come get your man. That's what you need to look for. I hate tall girls. Okay. Sure, honey. Now I got to look at every freaking WNBA player because that's my competition. Deborah said, I don't believe for 1 second Lisa was pregnant. You don't? I would be shocked. I would be shocked if I don't see a kid or a bump. Oh, I am Rachel. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's a definite binge watch. Watch it on a Saturday and get through the whole thing. Every time. That's what they like. That's what they like. Every time. Melissa said, I think she went home, threw her pills and got pregnant right away, but she was, you know, I hate to say it, Lisa, but you acted so crazy. One could believe that. I'm saying when he asked if the baby was his. Ciao. Deborah said, I'm pretty sure they test for pregnancy before allowing people on the show. So she wasn't pregnant before coming on, and there's no way she'd be able to know if she was pregnant by that episode. Ooh. Ciao. Excuse me. Hey, so Steph. So Steph said, I really want you to review the Ultimatum Queer. LOL, it was a mess. Okay, I watched it. I'll just talk about it in one live. Why not? Serious mama issues. Serious. And you see all that stuff that he was talking about his mom, crying about all the abuse and everything. And when he said in front of his mom, he said nothing. But you gonna cuss out Ryan for 3.5 hours because she did something that reminded you of your mom? Absolutely not. Get help. Get a therapist, not a wife. Deborah said, how can James say he doesn't believe in soulmates or one true love when he is currently dating his high school sweetheart of 7 years? Well, see, this is the thing. He said it. She's not his first love. She's not his high school sweetheart. He's her high school sweetheart and first love, but that's not the same for him. So she was in a relationship with him for 7 years. James wasn't in a relationship for 7 years. NC said, I'm surprised that Trey entertained Lisa after seeing how she acted at the mixer and seeing her physical with Brian. I was saying the same thing too. I was like, Trey, you want Lisa? Do you want to be beat up next? What is going on? I would think that any dude would see that as a walking red flag. Same. Maybe he was attracted to the fact that she gave the ultimatum. So that meant that she was ready. I feel like Trey is just as blindsided by being married as not blindsided, but just as like laser focused on marriage as Kat is. NTR said James should have never brought her on this show. No, Ryan brought James on the show. It wasn't the other way around. Absolutely. And he needs intense therapy. He got a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. Sarah said Ryan gave the clean cut version. James told the truth. He's the stereotypical young guy who feels like he needs to experiment and experience everything. And Ryan is hopelessly in love. Yep. Yep. Yeah, also because his mom is just like, you have a chance to get out of this town. You're going to stay here for her. I don't think you should do that. And I do think that he needs to go experience NASA and work wherever he works and gets therapy. And she needs to experience life as well. If they feel like they want to get back together later on in life, that is always an option. But at this point right now, neither one of them are ready. Missy said James will resent her if they, yeah, I got that. TT said James has too much internal issues. His mother is messing with him. His mother wants him to make the money so he can retire her from driving trucks. Absolutely. She told him, you're the only one who has a shot to make a lot of money. Absolutely. And Ryan, you need to think about that. You need to think about the fact that that's going to be your mother-in-law and that is a family that you're marrying into. Bloodlines are very important, ladies. Very, very important. And doing TikToks in an empty house. Ciao. Oh, thank you. I know I heard it, but you know, sometimes you hear and you read certain things, names really differently. She wants to experience life, but she wants Trey to pay for it. That's all that is. Yeah, very true. Candace said Raya doesn't want to get married and she doesn't want Trey. She needs to live a little. Absolutely. Flolo said Raya needs to go out and find herself first before she gets with anybody. Ryan and Raya are the same age, but Ryan seems more ready for marriage than Raya is. I think that, I don't know if Ryan is ready for marriage. I think Ryan is stuck. And I think Raya realizes that she's stuck and she wants to get unstuck. But I think these two are stuck with the same situation. Finances. Because Ryan cannot experience life and go, see the world and live this free life and be financially supported by James or her family. Same thing with Raya. She cannot go and live wherever she wants to experience life and not be financially supported by Trey. Finances. If these two women have money, they would not be in the situation. Independent money. Miss GG88 said Raya also needs therapy. Absolutely. She seems to have something going that she needs to talk to someone about. I mean, don't we all? Yeah. I recommend therapy for, I thought she was 25. She 23. Nah, yeah, this ain't for her. Melissa said Raya really needs to be on her own. She seems like someone that's always is in a relationship, enjoying life in yourself. Yep. And I think she has been that girl from the age of like 15 who was always in a relationship and always had a guy tricking on her. That's what she's used to. So she's scared of like doing it on her own, but she desperately wants to do it on her own. DeWay said, I agree. He has a vision for his future and she's not ready. She doesn't know what she wants. And that's the problem in a marriage. I think he knows what he wants. And I think she knows what she wants. But what she wants, she can't fund. So she's staying in a situation with him and just going to be miserable, depressed, drinking herself to an early grave. It's a terrible life. Her and Ryan, terrible life. Greta said, no offense, but Raya and Trey need to go through their whole phase before committing. They are both too young to settle down. Very true, but that's not going to happen for Trey. That's not. He keeps on bringing up how his parents got married early and how his parents are still married. He had his vision for his life is set. He's not going to stray from that. Jasmine says, Trey ain't leaving his job location so she can find herself for a year. Very true, especially as an engineer. And he knows he's a catch. I'm sad. Brian definitely would have given Raya an experience if she was looking for it. He is more confident, where Trey and James are goofy and awkward. Yeah. Double T said, hey, all, Raya is young and needs to discover who she is. These traditional standards are still holding the girls back. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Zaria said Trey does seem like a good guy and knows what he wants, but I think they're not necessarily compatible, but want to be. True. I think they both realize they're good people and they think that this should work. You know what I mean? We're good people. We live in the same town. We're attractive people. This looks like it could work, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Y'all on two different paths. Y'all are on two different paths. Joseph says, I think they are mismatched in terms of their goals and age. She is young too. Agreed. Yep. Kayla said, Raya can definitely get a rapper in the city, then flip the monthly allowances to a hair or clothing business. Yeah, I agree. She's just afraid. She's just afraid because it's an unknown life to her. I feel like her providing for herself is just unknown. She's just not used to it. And she's scared, but she needs to take that leap. She needs to take that. He doesn't like her at all. See, he does not like her at all, but there are a lot of wealthy men who are with women that they do not like, but they want a legacy. They want children and they want to have somebody who could take care of a home. That's it. But you don't like her. Ima said, how is Alex too busy to propose when they're constantly on vacation? Weak excuse. Yeah, because you sold your business. You're just living off of your business. So you're not even working. You're living your best life. You don't want to marry her because you do not want to put all the money that you made in jeopardy. Melissa says, Kat talks like one of those persons that translates languages when you are watching the French version of the show. Joseph also says, Alex sounded like an alpha male podcaster every time he talked. I skipped his scenes at a point because he is. He is. You know, he listens to all that toxic mess, that Joe Rogan crap. Deborah said, Alex says that they have a lot of fun traveling and stuff. He just wants her for fun. I think he absolutely wants a partner, but he doesn't want to put his finances in jeopardy, right? He wants a partner. He wants to have kids at some point. But the thing about it is, Kat could be anybody. Whoever will put up with him is who he will be with. Eva said, when James was like, you triggered me in cussing at Ryan, I was like, Ryan, you in danger. Yep. And they're going to kiss her on the forehead while she's crying and say, I love you. Sick. I'm not arguing with anyone into the night. Is this what couples are doing these days? Absolutely not. Yep. And they're young. They're young going through this mess. Missy said this show could have done with a couples therapist if they actually wanted to help the couples. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Ryan said, Tony is so paranoid and delusional. It's scary. I normally don't buy into the whole alpha and beta stuff, but Tony is such a beta male. He is. Yup. Hey, Busola. Thank you for being here. Nisha said, Alex got the money in the mouth she can't handle. Yep. Because he's like, I got money. Who you talking to like that? Not me. Titi said, James looked like one of those guys that goes to the army to release his. Listen. Deborah said, Roxy likes a submissive homosexual for fun and to build her ego, but would actually consider marrying a CEO. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, she was pissed. He clocked her right away and did not back down. She couldn't take him. Yep. Flolo said, Alex said, I got the money to back up my mouth. Roxanne met her match during that argument. Yep. Miss Gigi88 said, I'm not an Alex fan. He gives me a narcissist and he talks too damn much. I agree. Ryan said, Roxanne is the CEO of some damn pasties. You would think she was in big tech the way she acts. And I also think that she's a pamper princess. I think her dad takes care of her very well. Very, very, very well. And she's used to that and wanted that in Alex and Antonio. Nisha said it was when Rox other exes have said the same thing about her, but he believes they all love to tear them apart. Yep. He's delusional. Absolutely delusional. And I'm not even, I would hope that he will look at the show and see, that he was being treated poorly, but I don't think he will. Double T said, agreed, Nikki. That cynical 3-hour early morning argument with Ryan and James was a huge red flag. I want Ryan to get free and James to go to therapy. I agree. And Yarden said, hey, y'all, I'm on a plane to Philly right now. I know that's right. LOL, got that good on-flight Wi-Fi to hang out with my NikkiStar family. Yay! Look at us. We worldwide. Thank you for being here, in Yarden. Me too, Eva. Eva said, I was mad that they were going at Alex. I don't like him, but he was telling the truth. Yeah, he was right in that situation. He's not a likable guy, but he was right. He was right. Oh, she was holding it. Like, do you have anything you want to say? And he was like, no, I don't. She met her match. Yep. And it's so funny that they both chose each other. That's crazy. Like, the show did not put them together. They chose each other for this process. Melissa said, I'm telling you, as a little girl from Jamaica, the outside of the world shows me how different people treat you when you have money. Yes. I told you about how I get treated when I drive my sister's Benz. A different world. A different world. Joseph said, I want Kat to have a partner who doesn't make her take on emotional labor. But Kat has to want that, right? I think Kat's community wants that for her. I think she's comfortable where she's at. She got herself a rich man and she's fine. Everybody wants better for Kat but Kat. Double C said, Roxanne's whole personality is her career. Chunky heels and moisture. Oh my God. OMG. Missy said, please, Antonio is rubbing her feet right now while watching the show on Netflix. He'll say it was poor editing, probably. Megan said, I didn't understand what benefit it would be of Alex's parents to lie in Antonio's mind. Oh yeah, they're lying too. So everybody is lying? Delusional. Ryan said, I just can't wait until the reunion because all she was doing the whole time was dogging out Antonio. But the thing about it is, I just feel like he won't be affected. I feel like he knows this. I feel like, Alex and Kat are not the first people that told him how she feels about him. I feel like Roxanne's parents has said the same thing to Antonio. He's not going to hear it. Ima said, Roxanne didn't deny it. She only said that she didn't use those specific words. Respect. She was arguing semantics rather than clarifying her position. Yep, sad. Antonio needs to leave. But he won't. Courtney said, I thought they were cute. They vibe. They like each other and treated each other better than their partners. I know this is about Ryan and Trey. I felt so bad. But they work. Jasmine said, Tony should get into cannabis since Roxy says he's always in the clouds and spit the year high. Ciao. Ima said, Trey's equally delusional. Ryan don't want him, but he's constantly professing his love. He falls in love easy because he wants to be married. That's just what it is. He wants to be married. He's going through what a lot of women go through when they're approaching 30. Trying to get married. He wants to be married before he hits that 3-0. Ryan said, when she brought out the picture book, I forgot this was the ultimatum. I thought it was The Bachelor. Courtney said, I saw someone say he only liked her because she was white and they have nothing in common. I was like, are we watching the same show? Because this is the thing. I don't think that Trey is attracted to white women. I don't think he's attracted to white women. I think he normally goes for normally goes for black women, because let's be very clear here. If Lisa was still on the show, Trey would have matched with Lisa. I was watching this and I was so shocked that he was still attracted to her. I'm like, you still want to be with this woman? He was like, me and Ryan had a good conversation, but Lisa. I'm like, you want to get beat up by that woman too? I was so confused. I think he would have matched with Lisa. I do not think that he would have matched with Ryan, but because Lisa left, he got put with Ryan, and like they were having more and more conversations and realized that they are very similar. The only thing that's stopping this couple is racism. They are very similar. Because my God, today, they were created for each other. They were created for, yep. Deborah said Trey was gone the second she said she was from South Carolina and lived a street away. Yep. I Am Also Production said, I was like, at least there was one couple that should be together this season. Yeah. We can't lie here. We can't lie here. Yes. Ryan said the siblings loved them together, though, which gave me a smidge of hope. But those parents, when I saw her parents didn't show up, I was like, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Miss Gigi said exactly, Nikki. I knew her parents didn't want to come because he was Black. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is I'm telling you, that's the only thing that will separate this couple. The only thing. The only thing. NTR said the values, the family vision, the hometown, all good, but I wanted to see some parents. Yep. Because she hates James. She hates how he treats Ryan. She was so happy. You're just lighting up with Trey. You are just a totally different person. You are free. I love it. She hates James. Hates. Not only was he shocked, he was trying to be polite, but I think he knew that this couldn't work. He knew. Flolo said, did y'all see the way Trey and Ryan were looking at each other in their beds? They were about to eat each other up like ice cream. My mom swears that those two had sex. And I was like, no, I don't think so. My mom was like, she slept with him, Nikki. Me too. I love that couple. I love that couple. Weezy said, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. You're right, Nikki. Trey and Ryan are perfect for each other. Soulmates. Soulmates. But I do think she's going to stay with James. I do think she's going to stay with James, and her soulmate is Trey. I think she's going to stay with James. Ryan also said, Ryan going to be learning how to braid her daughter hair on YouTube. I'm telling you, there's such a successful life for her outside of James. If she picks Trey, this show better get a freaking Emmy. This show better get a freaking Emmy. My God, today. Those two are going to be what Lauren and Cameron were for Love is Blind. They're going to take off like Lauren and Cameron if they walk out of this process together. My God, today. Listen, Trey and Ryan, if y'all end up together, contact me. We're going to get y'all some money. We going to get y'all some money. I feel like they live down the street from each other. What's Ryan's last name? And what's Trey's last name? Let's put it all out there. Let's put it all out. You don't think she's naming that baby Trayvana? Trayvana Elizabeth. Baby. And then Trey gonna say to her, what we gonna do about these pictures? And she's like, I don't know, Trey. I don't know. Maybe you want to keep them. If these two don't stay together, I guarantee you they're gonna have like a cabin. They're gonna have a cabin somewhere far in the South Kakalaki Mountains, if they have them out there. And they're gonna meet there once a year. And just have the best weekend of their lives and then go back to their families like nothing happened. Because they're soulmates. They're soulmates. They are constantly going, even in other relationships, they are always going to think about the other. My God, today, one of them is going to have to move out of town. Could you imagine Ryan pregnant with James's baby? running into Trey at the local Publix, and they just sitting there staring at each other over the lettuce, breathing heavy, can't get themselves together. Absolutely not. They would have to move. One of them got to move. NTR said, I had a professor change all instances of me writing Black to African American in the paper. I was like, sir, are all Black people African American? I told y'all about my friend who lived in the UK, and she was just like, she would have to like get into it with her teachers and like just people, white people that she met in general, where she would be like, do you not hear my accent? I'm from here. I am not African American. She was like, I was in class and my teacher was talking. She said she was talking about apartheid. And he was like, yes, and the African Americans. And she was like, no, they're just South African. What are you doing? But for some reason, I do not know. I think it's because Black has become like a global description of Black people. And I think because Black was started, the Black identity was started by Black Americans with the Black love and Black empowerment movement. I think that for some reason, non-Blacks took that and took African American, was just like, this is how they're all going to describe themselves. And no, you could just say Black. Melissa said, haha, Nikki, you got me. I saw it with Ryan and Trey, but when I saw her brother and his girlfriend, I knew it would never happen. Yeah, it wasn't even the brother and the girlfriend. It was the fact that the parents were not there. Yeah. I was like, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Absolutely, James was. Absolutely. That's when he started to short circuit, because he absolutely was going to sleep with Raya. Absolutely. But then he saw how Ryan was responding to Trey and was just like, if I do this, I'm going to give her an out and she's going to get with that man. NC said, why did y'all think the interracial aspect was never discussed? I think it could have been a real and raw conversation. I think it's because it's the South, and the South acts like the UK with racism. Like it just doesn't exist. It's just like, oh, we don't do that down here anymore. No, baby, you're not Germany. You didn't repent. You didn't make any changes. No, you racist as hell. You racist as hell. I think that's what it is. They want to act like it's not an issue. But why didn't your parents show up, Ryan? They were both booked and busy. Melissa said, not only did he exercise restraint, he shamed her with it, and it was embarrassing for her. Yeah, it was. It was. He sure did. I'm telling you, go back and watch that scene. She has the throw on her, and her toes is just curling because she's imagining being pleased by this man. And he's going to sit there, have that whole foreplay conversation with her, and then get up and leave her there all moist. How dare you, James? How dare, after she tells you that she has not been sexually fulfilled in her relationship for 2 years. Don't play them games. Don't play them games. DeWay said, I disagree. It didn't seem like she is sexually at all, considering she doesn't get wet. I just feel like she wanted it. She wanted it because she wasn't getting it. And after he was telling her what he can do, mother was curious. Who wouldn't be? She said, oh, you do what? Well, I would like to know what that's like. She sure was. She sure was. And that's my problem with Raya. Sarah said, had James been Brian, Raya would have been pregnant right along with Lisa. And that's my problem with Raya, because you're getting mad at Trey for having a connection when you've been had a connection before he had a connection. You had a connection with Brian from day one. And now you're going to get mad because your connection left. You would not feel the same way had Brian had stayed. Ryan, I agree with you, but I can't click on that. Ooh! He would have, but he knows that he would have lost Ryan for good, because he said it to her. He was like, I can't cheat on Ryan again. And so when Ryan realized that she was rejected, she gonna text Trey. and make sure she got the Trey first before James did. Girl, you're not slick. You're not slick. Cam said, Nikki, I thought the same thing with James and Raya. I hope she doesn't feel validated by a man unless they have sex. I hope so too. Ima said, but Ryan said she didn't put any restrictions on James for this process. I don't think he wanted Raya like that. He also seemed unable to imagine intimacy and affection that was not sex. I feel like he did. I think he would have, but he saw where Ryan was in the process. And also, he was smart because ain't no man who got any sense gonna take a hall pass from his woman. And she's like, it's okay if you sleep with her, it's fine. Well, it's in the process. I'll be okay. All right. Sleep with that woman and then come back to your woman and see what happened to you. Stabbed multiple times. Missy B said, I think because James had cheated before, he was not about to do anything that was cheating adjacent. Yep. That's what Vanessa said. She said that to James. She said, you've been with her for 7 years and you ain't know. But now that she has a connection with Trey, all of a sudden you want her? Ciao. I Am Awesome Productions said, I hope next season is not the South. I feel like this is half the reason why people are rushing into these marriages. I agree. Let me, hold on. I want to get some more current ones. This is about Ryan. Ryan said, yep, she feels guilty. Like, okay, you have trauma, but doesn't mean I need to stay with you. Yeah. But that's how he manipulates her. I think this isn't the first time that he's, used his upbringing to make her feel less than or feel like she has to stay with him. Missy said, I think because James had cheated. Oh, I got that. Bree says, when a man is ready to marry any woman he lays eyes on, he'll want a wife. So yeah, Trey was definitely going to fall for someone else. Yeah, he's just ready to get married. Honestly, this happens to men at 39. I'm very shocked that this is happening to a young man at 29. But normally it's 39. That's why I always say, if there's a guy, a man of your dreams, and you really, really like him, and he has never paid you any attention, start circling that man at the age of 39. On his 39th birthday, all of a sudden start popping up. All of a sudden, you see him you're at the same gym. You run into him at the market. You're running into him at church. Yeah. Especially if he's 39 and about to turn 40 and he's looking at properties. Oh, he's ready to get married. I remember my best friend. He got this really nice apartment. And I went with him to go look at, because he was like, oh, I want to get some plants. Can you help me get some plants? And I went with him to go, help him get some plants, whatever, for his home. And we got the plants, we brought it back. And I just watched him set everything up, set the plants up. And he stepped back and he looked at it and he was looking at his furniture. And I stared at him and I said, oh, you ready to put a wife in here? And he was like, no, don't say no. He's engaged. He's getting married this year. When a man starts nesting, oh, he's ready. He was not the marrying kind. But as soon as he started to put that, because he'd been living in that apartment, all of a sudden you fixing it up. Why are you fixing this place up like that? What you doing? Changing the flooring, changing the lighting, getting plants. Oh, you ready to be somebody's husband. And we talk about that still to this day. When he told me that he was about to propose to her, I was like, I told you. Well, I knew when you was getting plants. He was like, When they start nesting, they're ready. You either get them at 39 or when they start nesting. When he starts fixing up his place out of nowhere, he ready, y'all. Nisha said, yes, it was giving. She just wanted him to front her lifestyle in Atlanta. Yeah, I don't think she's attracted to him. I don't think she wants to live a life with him. But I don't think that she's ever been independent of a man financially. And she's just having a hard time dealing with that. Priscilla said she don't want to work and she's not attracted to him and he's not romantic, just compatible. Yep. Nisha said, talking about James, I was not expecting to see him talk to Ryan like that. You know what? I absolutely was. I was not shocked. I was actually shocked it took this long for that James to emerge. I was not shocked. Oh, they're in Charlotte. I'm so sorry. I keep on saying South Kakalaki. Forgive me. Forgive me. Ryan said, yep, I got that one. Priscilla says, I hope she watches this back, gets some opportunities outside of her hometown, and finds the strength to leave. That could be about any woman on the show. Missy said, can Ryan not just move to a walkable area? They make it sound like they live in a country. I think they just live really far from the city. And I think that if you're somebody like Raya, who lives in a small town in the South, Atlanta is the place to be. Atlanta is the place to be. I was in Philly, and New York was the place to be, right? If you are somebody that lives in, what the hell is close to LA? Montana. LA is the place to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's just your idea of what these places are like when you're not from there. Period. So what I got to change for? I'm rich. Zaria said, I saw a TikTok of Ryan and hopefully her and Trey picked each other. Oh, really? See, I feel like she's going to stay with James. But I'm telling you, if her and Trey lead this process together, they are going to be a huge hit. I hope they are smart enough to get the right team, get the right agent, get the right PR agent, because there is money to be had with that couple. Woo! Melissa said, once I realized my worth, that man couldn't speak down at me again. I know that's right. Nora said, I haven't watched this season, but all of these couples sound more tragic and hopeless than first seasons. Yeah, they are. Nori's note said, what do you think about James's mom? She was spicy. Yeah, it made sense. It made sense. When we met her, I was just like, yeah, I get it. I'm not making any excuse for her. She's a single mom, poor. I think she did the best that she could with what she had. And unfortunately, she made a lot of mistakes. And unfortunately for James, she is the kind of mom who will take a long time to apologize. And when she apologizes, that is the only apology you will ever get. And she will not be repenting, right? She's the kind of mom that gives off, I already apologized for my mistakes and I'm not apologizing again, not realizing that there's a healing process that your child has to go through. But I don't think she has the tools to be the mom that James needs, because she didn't have that. So she can't give you what she does not know. And I think James is just not okay with that his mom is who his mom is. And that happens with a lot of people. Like, I wish my father was a different person, but he's not. So I just have to be okay with the fact that I was cheated out of a really great relationship with the father. And that sucks, but that's just the reality. That is my reality. I just have a terrible relationship with my dad. And I wanted to be something else, right? But I had to realize that that is just not going to happen. And I have to be okay with that. Because if I was not going to be okay with that, then I was going to ruin any relationship with any man in my life. Because instead of going after the person that harmed me, you always go after the person that's similar. Or you take it out on the parent that stayed. And I just had to realize that. And James is very young. It's going to take him a while. I didn't get this breakthrough until I was 32. And I had a lot of piss poor relationships along the way because of that. It takes time. But he needs to be okay with that is just who she is. And she is old and set in her ways. She is not going to change. And you just got to be okay with that. The best thing that he can do is go to therapy and set boundaries with her. That'll teach him. You set boundaries with the mofos, they start acting right. Ryan says when he asked her what she would say to him if she knew they would see each other again, and she was mute. Who is this? Who said that? Flolo said, I like James's mom. She was giving realness. She was like, my son is not going to do any better. That's the thing. She's funny, but she's toxic. She's funny, but she's toxic. Busola said, I think the mistakes often made is that we think we can put all our energy into changing others. Yep. But we can just remove ourselves from the situation. We have agency, but sometimes that's forgotten. Yeah. I feel like that happens to a lot of women where a woman gets with a guy and they just start working on fixing him to be the man that they want instead of being like, oh, I can get better or I can just get what I want. I think it's really hard for a lot of women to realize. Sarah said the sister was waiting to say that. The first chance she got, she spilled. Blew me. Blew me. I'm like, why would you say that? Yes, me too. My sister, who had already watched this, came down and she was just like, oh, wait, did you get to the scene? Came downstairs to watch it with me to see my reaction. Why would you do that? Too real. Well, her quivering lip. What happened? What happened? Girl, you know what happened. You exposed this man in front of your sister who told you this in confidence. Riot was like, because she just did not think that her sister would say something like that. Nisha said, Riot is clearly not satisfied, but wants financial stability. Yep. Flolo said, I need Miss Hooters to go and get her life together. She don't need to be getting engaged to anybody right now. Not at all. Straight shooter. They have been, because the parents have been very open and honest, but kind, right? They haven't been tearing down the other's partners, but they've just been like, listen, this isn't a good fit. And you're an adult and you can do whatever you want, but we're telling you the truth in the kindest way possible. From that comment to him looking away in disappointment when she said that she was pregnant, if your man is not like shocked and like happy tears when you say you're pregnant, girl, you better make a decision. Carol said, I don't think any of the couples need to stay together. Brian does not want to be with Lisa and should be in jail for putting her hands on him. Yeah, but unfortunately, that's their relationship. She beats up on that man all the time, often, and then cries after. Blue Pixie said, not to be that person, but I was kind of sad no one checked Lisa when she assaulted Brian. Me too. Hey, IA said, hey, Nikki, I'm late to the party. I'll be a part of the replay crew tomorrow. I know that's right. I'm actually wrapping up anyways because I have another live that's about to start that I already pushed and I can't push it again. Deborah said, Kat needs to get with one of Alex's colleagues so her financial situation won't change and she'll hopefully be with the man who actually wants a marriage with her. She should, but she's not going to do it. So Steph said, I get treated differently where I wear my designer stuff for sure. Yeah. It's such a clear difference. Ciao. Van said, hi, I'm late. I'm going to wait for the replay. Antonio is going to get burnt soon, but he won't do nothing about it. So many people are being financially abused on this show, mentally abused on this show, verbally abused on this show, and physically abused on this show. The theme of this, the Ultimatum season 2 is abuse. That's the thing. Ryan said, my uncle also ignored the exes and she convinced him to cut everybody off. Even his parents who paid for all of his schooling and dropped off groceries during his residency. He paid her a pretty penny. Ciao. T. Kennedy Reed said, so what are your predictions for the decisions and post reunions? Let's bring up the couples and then I'll do 2 more and get out of here. Let's bring up the current couples. Alex and Kat are going to stay together. She's not going anywhere and Alex doesn't have to change. Still together. I know that because the cousin said congrats to my cousin Brian and his fiance Lisa. She's going to stay. If she hasn't already, she's going to fall in love with Trey and she's going to be in love with him for the rest of her life. And I'm telling you, if they don't have a cabin in the woods somewhere where they meet once a year, they're going to have this chemistry for a very long time. But she's going to stay with James. I wouldn't be surprised if she's pregnant by the time we get to the reunion, because he seems like the kind of guy that's going to trap her. Tony and Roxy still together. I think that they are going to stay together because I also think from the trailer that he's going to propose and she's going to say yes. I think they're going to stay together because he is just delusional and he is too far in the abuse to break free, unfortunately. Ryan and Trey. This is the only couple that I think is going to break up, because I think that Trey is going to watch this season, and I don't think that it'll be his decision, but I think it'll be his family's decision in talking to him and making him believe that Raya, or come to the conclusion that Raya is not the perfect partner for him. I think at the reunion, we're going to see Raya try to make it work because she's still afraid to be on her own financially. But I think this is going to be the only couple that dissolves. Those are my predictions. Just Jonda said, Trey is very paternal and shows that he will punish you. He told the Rose's story for one reason, to justify not trying to meet her needs. Yep. You don't marry someone you have to punish, because he sees himself as the provider, right? And that's probably the dynamic in his parents' relationship, where the mom just lets the dad lead. And as long as he's financially providing, he's in the right. I have a plan for them. I have a plan for them. If they make it, I got a plan for them, and they're going to get some money. Some people said, so even Africans are African-American. That's an issue. And I think it's just because, America's global impact. And I think that, people just feel afraid of saying Black, so they'll say African-American. So sad. Just Jonda said, Trey would not be good for Ryan either. She is another young woman who still needs to find herself. Trey is looking for someone to fit into a mold he has already created. Yeah, but Ryan is the type of person who will stay. I think she is the kind of girl who is raised to be married, raised to be a mom. I don't think that she comes from an environment where the women are raised to be anything else but a helpmeet to a man. So that's why I think that they're perfect for each other, because that's what Trey wants, and that is who Ryan was raised to be. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they're still racist. I was just talking about how there have been actual changes in admission of fault. Thank you. Y'all let me know. Germany's still racist, Nikki. Europeans just get great at saving face. True. Hey, Blue Jay, how are you? Miss GG88 said, I need Vanessa to stop sharing the ultimatum story about her and Nick. I cringe at having to give a man an ultimatum to get him to marry me. Yeah, and I get it. But she had to do that because she wanted to be with him. But then she was also with a man who just went through a very public divorce. So she had to be patient with that as well. Melissa said, and no man makes a woman happy like a man that's ready. Yep. Melissa said she will not apologize for breaking her back and trying her best because she thinks that's what all she needed to do while she traumatized him. We talking about Roxanne. Hey, Shonda, thank you for being here. Shonda said, please like the video and subscribe. Yes, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki'Star at Home. Thank you so much, Shonda. Melissa says, and then we're going to end with NTR. I'm a baby nurse here in New York, but once I tell people my daughter goes to Harvard, my respect jumps right up. Yeah, of course. All of a sudden, you have substance and quality. Ugh. Ciao. They are either going to meet once a year to have a love weekend. And it's not just sex. No, it's passionate lovemaking, watching the sunrise and the sunset together while roasting a chicken, living the life they wish that they could live, but because of the circumstances, they can't. NTR says, you better be rocking that Harvard parent gear everywhere, Melissa. I know that's right. Blue Jay says, maybe unpopular opinions, but I think raising a daughter to only be a wife and a mother, nothing else. I think you are raising her to fail. Oh, I agree. I agree. But I feel like the great awakening is happening, especially with Gen Z. The babies are waking up. And especially with millennials raising these kids. Oh, baby. We're getting free. Anyway, family, I am hella late to my next live for the Bachelor in Paradise. Meet the cast reveal of the Bachelor in Paradise. So sorry, Bachelor in Paradise family. I was not looking at the time. I will do better about that. Also, if you're a part of the replay game, give me a minute. I will put timestamps in this video after my next live is wrapped. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon for something else. Bye. And also, sorry this was so long.